Welcome back to Stooge Stream. I'm your host, The Stooge, and this is another episode of Is It Worth Playing? In this episode, we're looking at Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Great Curry God for the PlayStation Vita. That is a huge name. Really, I'm going to say it again. Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Great Curry God. In case you didn't get it, this game does have a bit of a cooking theme, but before we get to that, what type of game is it? This mixes a whole lot of different things. It's a top-down dungeon crawler, which uses turn-based tactical RPG movement, attack, that type of thing. If you played a Final Fantasy Tactics games or Ogre Tactics or anything like that, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it also has sort of a Pokemon type element where you have a pet as well that fights for you. So it kind of mixes a pet raising, dungeon crawling RPG and throws on top of it a tactics based movement system. It's kind of bizarre. The game is really hard to explain. But once you play it, you kind of get the hang of it very quickly and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I get it, this is great. But yeah, it mixes all of these different types of games all into one straight away. So off the bat, that's really interesting. It's released by Rising Star Games on the PS Vita. So if you know anything about Rising Star, they're very much like NIS. They release games in English that we normally wouldn't get over here. They release a whole lot of games on the Vita, PS3, PS4. Just like NIS. So they're a fantastic company. If you want to get something a bit quirky, a bit weird, a little bit different, if you see Rising Star Games on it, chances are it will be that little bit different. So this was published by Complete Heart and published by Rising Star, created by Complete Heart and Zero Div, I believe. Okay, so what's the story? The story is there's obviously a curse from a great curry god. You have to go undo the curse, and in the course of the game there's a whole lot of villains that you need to beat. There's this giant tower that you climb. That kind of reminds me of Evolution on the Dreamcast, if anyone played that, where you can save your progress going down into the dungeon. If you want to come out and do every couple of floors, if you want to come out and sell items, get new equipment, so forth, and then go back into the dungeon so you don't lose too far much of your progress. You don't have to start from the beginning. It's a weird story. I can't even explain it. It revolves around eating a lot of curry. Yeah. You do some combining to make different curries and stuff, which you eat, and they're your health items and buffs and power-ups and things. You have to feed your pet as well, so depending on what you feed your pet, they may level up, get power-ups, buffs, and so forth. It's just really weird. If you own a PS Vita, this is one you definitely should be picking up. It's playable on the PS TV as well. Vita games aren't too expensive these days sometimes. I picked this up for $28 Australian new during one of the EB sales. It's about the only time I shop at EB Games, which is GameStop, I believe, in the US. Really, really dislike shopping there. But this is just a great title, and it's one of those quirky, weird Vita titles. There's so many Vita titles, it's actually crazy. For a system that's dead, there's still stuff coming out constantly. This is one of those that I had no idea about. I just picked up randomly, and I want people to play it because it's really worth playing it. You can see the trailer running in the background, which really doesn't do it justice. Even though it looks good, you really need hands-on time with this game to really understand the mechanics of it, how it works, and just how addictive it is. Really fun. Hope you enjoy it. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you have played Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Great Curry God, or if you're thinking about picking it up.